We are live. We're talking about it. It's UFC Vegas 30. We had UFC Vegas 29. Just kind of a rocky card prediction-wise. No excuse, though. And this is also the final video you guys are going to be seeing me out of studio, going back home tomorrow. Tomorrow's videos, we will be dropping the Bellator full card predictions, and I also got to do those PFL full card predictions, so going to find a way to get them both done tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune into that. We will be back in studio. I know you guys missing that nice little background and everything like that, but make sure you guys smash that like button. The predictions, we're coming back with fire this week. Definitely going to be better than last week. And we move forward, though, covering the best sport on the planet. Chaotic stuff happens, and that's why we love the fight game. Overall, looking forward to this card. Honestly, main event, Gane versus Volkov. Winner is, probably very near that title shot. Shout out everybody talking it up in the live chat. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Goal on this video, I need 110 likes. We got to break those 100s consistently. If you're new to the channel, subscribe here too. We cover all things MMA, and this is our UFC Vegas 30 full card predictions, and you're going to see us back in the office tomorrow. I'm super pumped, honestly, to be back in studio, because I do miss my comfy chair and my smooth backgrounds. And also, live streams for the events are back this week. We'll be doing it Thursday. I'm going to be honest, I need you guys to pick for me. Do you want PFL or do you want Bellator? I'll give live updates for both, but the cards are on at the exact same time, so I'm really going to have to make a decision which one I'm going to be going, live for, talking about play-by-play, but I'll still give live updates for both. It's really unfortunate that I have to pick between two of my favorite leagues outside of the UFC. Why do they have to compete against each other? Unfortunate. Shout out everybody in the live chat. What is up? Shout out Vaunt2X, Selman Bundy, Taj Lang Bali, Knock on Wood Turning. Welcome to the live for the first time, man. Welcome in. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. Starman TV, Adam Dubois, what's going on? You guys pick Bellator, PFL. Okay, we got some mixed results. I'm going to throw up a poll on my Instagram probably Wednesday, and I'm going to have people pick. What do you want to see live? Do you want Bellator or UFC? Right now, it seems like Bellator is the pick. We got 3 for 1, and I'm taking that into consideration already. So it seems like early lean is Bellator. And I was thinking Bellator. I really love PFL, but their decisions have just been god-awful, and some really weird stuff happens there. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. I do want to start talking about these fights. We're going to go through every fight on this card. I'll give my prediction, and I'll also talk about some potential bets to play. We do have some odds out already, thankfully. Good amount of fights on this card as well. But let's talk about the first one, Yancy Medeiros and Damir Hadžović. I think it was about a month ago they were supposed to fight. And then obviously cancellations, and now they have it here. The Bosnian bomber, Yancy Medeiros on the other side. Damir Hadžović is an okay fighter. The striking is decent with the Thai style. I do feel like a little bit hittable and not that smooth. On the other side, Yancy can box pretty well. I mean, he trains alongside the Diaz brothers at times, and you can kind of see that in his game. I don't think either guy is emerging as anywhere near a top 25 contender. I think both are really fun guys on the roster, but really more so Yancy Medeiros. Losing streaks for both. Loser probably leaves town. Both guys pushing towards 35 years of age. I'm going to pick Yancy Medeiros on a competitive decision. I do think he can fend off the grappling game of Hadžović if it does potentially go there. I don't think Hadžović really has the speed striking-wise. I think decision victory, Yancy Medeiros is the smart play here, and that is my prediction for this matchup over Damir Hadžović. But let's look here. Hadžović minus 150 to Yancy at the plus 125. So, I mean, I like the underdog, Yancy Medeiros, in this matchup. I'm not a guy that's been very impressed by Hadžović ever, and especially now, almost 35. Granted, Yancy Medeiros, yes, he has the losing streak, has always been a guy with a solid chin, a lot of heart, and the striking skill is there, and in this matchup, I do believe he'll be able to let it shine a bit. The boxing will flow. So I'm going to ride with the dog, Yancy Medeiros. Not a extreme, go out, bet $1 million on it type of play, but I do think smart money, bet a little something down on the dog here in Yancy Medeiros, and that is my prediction for this first fight of the night, minus 150 to plus 125. If you can get Yancy at the plus money, I do think there's some value in him here over Damir Hadžović, and he's also got a 5.5-inch reach advantage. So as long as it's striking, it's Yancy's fight. Let's keep it moving. Second fight of the night, Charles Rosa, Justin Jaynes. On one side, with Rosa, very good submissions. Solid kickboxing, too. I mean, he did beat up Kevin Aguilar on the feet. I mean, granted, didn't really beat him up. It was a competitive fight. On the other side, you got Justin Jaynes, who's one-touch knockout artist, but that's all he has. He doesn't really bring anything else to the table besides he either knocks you out early in the fight or he loses the fight. And this is one of those fights that I went back and forth. I was thinking about recent matchups, looking at recent matchups. Charles Rosa has been losing to very good grapplers. Justin Jaynes on one side, yes, he does have the wrestling base. Not all that great of a grappler. He is down also a weight class at 45 rather than 55. Is that a factor as well? You look at the last 3 fights. He loses to Devontae Smith, Gabriel Benitez, and Gavin Tucker. On the other side, Rosa loses to Minor. He wins a split against Aguilar. Bryce Mitchell. I mean, at minus 170, I don't like the bet on Charles Rosa, but I feel like Justin Jaynes is the perfect example of a puncher wrestler that doesn't wrestle at all. He has boxing power in the hands, yes, for the first probably 4 minutes of the fight, and then he gasses. I'm going to pick Charles Rosa. I think he can probably work his way towards a decision. I think that the first round could go the way of Jaynes, and then 29-28 Rosa could also see a submission potentially, maybe even find a way on top of Justin Jaynes. Granted, the wrestling is pretty good. Not too much to like from either guy. Not either guy really a big betting type play here. I'm going to pick Charles Rosa, but I do think when the prop releases, maybe Justin Jaynes KO prop will have value. Right now, we just have one prop, which is the fight goes the distance or not here. Minus 175 for Rosa, plus 145 Jaynes. Personal opinion, lay off the bet, but enjoy this fight, and I'm going to pick Charles Rosa to win this fight over Justin Jaynes. Kind of a matchup between two guys that are back ends of the weight class here. Next fight, Julia Stoliarenko versus Julia Avila. You look at Stoliarenko, she was a left-weight fighter. She actually fought there. Striking-wise, she's decent, but like a bit plodding and slow. I feel like she's a little bit, I don't know, low on the hand speed, I guess would be the best way to put it in my opinion. On the other side, Avila lets the hands go. She's a little bit awkward with the striking, but it works well. Combination puncher, looks for the finish. Knockout in 22 seconds of Gina Mazzani. That was an impressive knockout. Prior to that, Patty Kian's that decision, and Sajara Eubanks, she lost, but that's a grappler. This is striker versus striker essentially here. I definitely got to go with Julia Avila. I do think she is the better striker of the two, more technical, faster, and more athletic overall. Do I think that we're going to see a knockout here? I think that Stoliarenko is durable. She's a girl that can sit in the pocket and mix it up. I do think we're probably looking at 3 rounds. I'm leaning towards decision, maybe even 29-28 for Julia Avila here. I like her to win this fight. It's women's MMA. It's women's bantamweight. It is kind of an interesting matchup because Avila, I mean, was 8-1. Now she's 8-2 prospect. 9-4-1 Stoliarenko. Neither are definitely out of the picture of emerging as top 15 girls, but right now definitely more towards, the background. There's not a lot of girls in the weight class, so still you see the rankings there, but top 10, can they make runs for title shots? I will honestly say I would definitely pick Avila if I had to bet money down on who has more potential of being world championship material, even though I don't believe either does at this moment. I still got Avila winning the fight. I think the hands are better, the speed is better. I'll pick her, and I do think she'll pull it off. Fairly smooth decision, and I'm going to ride with Avila to win here. Let's actually look at the fight goes the distance prop because the straight bet is just ugly in this one. Minus 375, plus 180. Fight goes the distance prop is minus 180. If you want to get that, get it as soon as possible because it's definitely going to widen up over the course of this week. And now let me also check up on that live chat. I'll be trying to do it every 3 fights or so. So if you're watching a replay, you definitely can fast forward through it. If you're not interested in hearing me, check out this live chat. The PFL card isn't that great this week. Women's MMA, I still like the main event. You're trying to be a pro gambler? Hey, good luck, man. PFL has been kind of bad lately. It's been weird, man. Some locks. I'll throw you some locks at the end. Some locks. Barcelos is your lock of the week. Okay. Justin Jaynes ain't winning. Trust. Yeah. I mean, I'm not picking him to win. Gane. You like him as a dog. He's pretty good. Shavkat. I'm a big Shavkat guy. MMA gambling has been rough. It's always rough, man. That's gambling in general. Women's MMA is a fate. Absolutely. Which female y'all like to win? Dude, I mean, I'm riding with Avila for sure, but betting-wise, that's danger zone. So you like Barcelos as the lock of the week. We'll be talking about that fight soon. Avila, maybe a play if her odds get better. Yeah, the odds are hideous at what they're sitting at now. So I personally am not planning on playing that fight. But we'll see as the week goes on. I do like that fight goes the distance prop. And if you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that like button. As I said, goal on this video, 110 likes. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe here too. Welcome to MMA Experts, where we cover all things MMA. We got some big things coming when I get back home that I'm very excited about, and obviously you guys will see them shortly. All right, let's get to the next fight of the night. It's our fourth fight of the night, Marcin Prachnio versus Villanueva. Kind of bad fight here, if you want my honest opinion, as far as like skill sets go. Both back-end light heavyweights. Prachnio did end up beating Khalil Roundtree in that fight, but weird matchup. Villanueva, he's a heavy hitter for sure. He's got power in the hands, but that's really all he has. Realistically, Villanueva, I think, belongs in BKFC. Marcin Prachnio is just not all that good. Neither guy impresses me. Neither guy is going to be getting my money, period. One loss to Jordan Wright, the Beverly Hills Ninja. That was Villanueva. On the other side, Marcin Prachnio. He lost 3 straight fights, all by knockout. And then Khalil Roundtree, he ends up, pulling off a victory over. Granted, up a weight class could potentially. Was that up a weight class? Let me double check, because I'm 99% sure he was over down at middleweight to start his career off. No, he's at light heavyweight. Take that back. I'm wrong on that one. Yeah, he was at light heavyweight the whole time. Man, ugly losing streak there. But then he beats Khalil Roundtree. But, how good is Khalil really? Could Khalil Roundtree even beat Villanueva at this point? I mean, he beat Eric Anders back in the day, but I don't know if he still would be able to do that today, because Khalil, unfortunate, man. I was actually a big Khalil fan after TUF. But that doesn't matter. That's not this fight. Villanueva, Marcin Prachnio. I'm so unimpressed by both guys that I'll probably lean towards a Prachnio decision, but if you're a betting man, just dog or pass this fight, because I would not bet that much down on Marcin Prachnio. The chin is questionable. The overall skill set is not great. Villanueva, neither. I'm going to pick Prachnio on a decision. I think it could be 29-28, 30-27. I think he might look to wrestle here, but Villanueva on one side does have the power, and I mean, Marcin Prachnio's been knocked out a good amount, so the chin's a little spotty, but neither guy is getting my money. Not a fight worth betting on. I'll give you the odds, but I'm telling you, don't bet this fight. I don't really find much value in either guy, and both definitely towards the back end of the UFC skill category, no matter pound for pound. Minus 225 Prachnio, plus 180 Ike. I'll skip on this one and just watch it unveil, and I do think you might get a fun fight. At the very least, it's a fun fight. Move on up, Michael Prazeres versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. So Prazeres at one point, scary prospect on an absolute tear. I mean, look at his record. He's 26-3, physically very strong, very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skill set. Heavy hands, but not extremely fast. On the other side, Shavkat Rakhmonov kind of can do it all extremely well. Seems like one of the hottest prospects inside of this welterweight division, outside of, like a Hamza Chimaev type guy. I do think Shavkat has a ton of potential, 13-0, big win over Oliveira in the last fight. He's taken on an awesome matchup. Not a ton of name value in Prazeres, but the hardcores know he's a very good fighter. I'm going to ride Shavkat Rakhmonov. I don't think it's all that competitive. I think he's going to piece up Michael Prazeres. Look at the size difference, 5'6" to 6'1", 10-inch reach advantage. I'll ride with the first round knockout. He got a submission over Oliveira, but he hurt him bad in that fight. He's got a good amount of stoppages by knockout. He's going to knock out Michael Prazeres here. It won't be all that close. Shavkat Rakhmonov, I would truly say this is one of, more of a lock style play if you're looking to bet some money down. He's a guy that can get your money. Young prospect. How old is he now? 26 years of age versus a 39-year-old Prazeres. It's going to be the 26-year-old all day. The stylistic matchup is fantastic. I like the rangy striking of Shavkat with the legit knockout power. Shavkat minus 250. Prop up the knockout prop whenever it drops. We'll talk about it. We got a lot more videos covering this card coming out later on this week. We got the best bets video where we'll deep dive the betting breakdown. But for right now, I'm going Shavkat Rakhmonov, and he deserves your money. And if you're looking to play parlays, we'll talk them at the end of the video. He'll definitely be on some of them. Let's move on to the next fight of the night. The featured prelim bout, Raoni Barcelos and Timur Valiev. This is a fight that's, I know a lot of people are heavy on Barcelos. I understand. I mean, the guy is fantastic with his Thai boxing. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is extremely dangerous. But you can't really fully count out Timur Valiev. Grappling-wise, I think the physical strength of Valiev and Barcelos is fairly competitive. I really want to pick Valiev. I want to find any reason to pick Valiev. I just really can't bring myself to do it. I've been on Barcelos for a long time. I think he's one of the hottest prospects at 135. Unfortunately, though, he's pushing 35 years of age, so it's now or never. Timur Valiev, big win in the last fight, but did lose his UFC debut. I'll definitely be riding Barcelos by a decision victory here. Valiev is no easy fight. Could he find a way to win? Maybe. It would be a split decision if Valiev did win it. I think Barcelos, more dominant guy. Unanimous decision. The striking is better. The grappling is just as good. The jiu-jitsu is definitely better. Raoni Barcelos needs to find a way to emerge as a contender after this fight because he's got all these wins inside of the UFC, but he's fought nobody really towards the name value. Now Valiev, this is his first shot. We got to push this guy a bit. Like, can we give him a little shove and give him a fun fight? Because I want to see if Raoni Barcelos is as good as we all believe. Because I think he's really good. He's a pretty good favorite here. I'm picking him to win. Another guy that I would consider parlaying up. Minus 250 to plus 200. Minus 225 you can even find them at. Raoni Barcelos is the play here. And he's going to beat Timur Valiev. It's just a matter of how and how good does he look. I do think now or never if he's going to make any kind of run. We really need to give him a push if he beats Timur Valiev. Let me check up on that live chat as well. Let's see what's going on in the live chat here. MMA gambling is rough. Let's see where I'm at. Speaking for the live chat, we miss you this Saturday. Hey, Adam Dubois, I will be live this coming Saturday. I know, man. I'm out of town at the moment. It's kind of hard sometimes to go live. I did it for the pay-per-view, and it was a little rocky. But I'll be back home, and you guys know I'll be live for Bellator. Essentially, I think we're going to go Bellator on Friday, and I'll be live Saturday for UFC. I honestly miss chatting it up with you guys live, so you guys all better tune in to that live stream when I do them because I really enjoy doing it, and it's a lot more fun when everybody chats it up in the live chat. You could lock Avila in the parlay. I think you could potentially, but I don't know if I really want to play it. Andre, I lock. Y'all are going to sleep. Andre. This right here is a setup. Dana White be setting people up. Marcin's going to win. Marcin Prachnio. Yeah, I got him. Avila could gas, not a lock. Yeah, I'm not going to be betting the women's MMA fight. Dangerous fighter. This is the best fight on the card. Yeah, I agree. That last one was. You post all week. I like that. Hey, bro, I try to post every day. I try to go live every day. I haven't been able to do the post-fight shows. You guys know I love doing the post-fight recaps. We're going to be doing that this week as well. We got everything coming back fully to normal this week, so it's going to be good. You're taking the over 1.5. I do think there's some value in that potentially in that matchup, to be honest, because both guys tend to go the distance. Good play. Yeah, I do think that's a good play. Did you see the news about Luis Pena gets arrested? I did hear that Luis Pena ended up getting arrested, man. He said he has mental health issues and stuff. It's sad, man. He seems like a good guy deep down, but he's just got some issues. You know, I think he was an orphan growing up and whatnot. That's got to be tough. I do hope he finds some help because, you know, he's a solid fighter and he's a fun guy to watch. He's a likable guy, violent Bob Ross. He just needs to get a few things figured out. And, guys, we're going to move up to that main card in just a moment. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. As I said, goal on this video, 110 likes. And I know it does make his tweet look a little bit different, man. Sad. Gane is a lock, you think? We'll see. We're going up to that main card right now. Thank everybody for tuning in, whether on live or on replay. I appreciate everybody for chatting it up in the live chat. I'm the #1 guy you listen to. Yo, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you guys tune in. There's definitely some good guys in the field, but, you know, I'm an honest guy. I try to just give my most honest take possible. But let's get into it. The first fight on this main card. What an excellent main card as well. Thankfully, it's not like last week's main card. I felt like that was a little bit lagging. This one here is good. Renato Moicano versus Jay Herbert. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Renato Moicano at lightweight hasn't proven anything to me, and that's why he's fighting Jay Herbert. Yes, Herbert did lose to Trinaldo, but you look at that fight with Trinaldo and how good Trinaldo did up a weight class against Muslim Salikov. I'm picking Jay Herbert. Renato Moicano is a decent Thai style striker. Sure, his jiu-jitsu is good, but in this fight here, he's the smaller man. He's 2 inches shorter, and he has a 5-inch reach disadvantage. Jay Herbert has some pretty damn good kickboxing. As you see, Cage Warrior strap on his shoulder, former champion there, has been in there with some good names over at Cage Warriors. He's 33. He's no spring chicken. He's not a young fighter at this point, so it's really now or never. I think he's going to beat Renato Moicano. I think the rangier striker gets the win here. Is he the guy that knocks out Moicano? Well, you look at how Moicano loses. Knockout, knockout, knockout. You look at how his opponent wins normally. Knockout, knockout, knockout. Now, I'm not saying it's MMA math. No, I think the stylistic matchup favors Jay Herbert striking-wise, and I do think the slight height and reach advantage will avoid the takedowns. I am going to go Jay Herbert. I think Jay Herbert, by a late second-round knockout, is actually the play here. I'm going to pick Jay Herbert to beat Renato Moicano. I like the underdog here. I see no value at Moicano, 32 minus 250 favorite. He's not all that good. I do think he's a bit overrated. And he's good at featherweight. Sure, he's good, but he's not great. He's not top caliber. And neither is Jay Herbert at this point. But I think matchup-wise, it's a good one. And I'm going to ride Jay Herbert, the dog, in this matchup. I think he finds a way to beat Renato Moicano here. Jay Herbert is a plus 200 dog. That's some juicy money. Plus 210. Moicano minus 250. I like Jay Herbert. Advantageous style matchup to him, and I think the lines are a little bit biased towards what Moicano did in the past. Yeah, he beat Cub Swanson and whatnot, but that's years ago. This is not the same guy. He beat Damir Hadžović quickly, sure, but who's Hadžović? As I said, I'm not impressed by Hadžović at all. He's fighting earlier on in the night. Let's go Jay Herbert. The Black Country Banger. What an interesting nickname. I'm going for him, and I think he does it by a TKO second round. Let's keep it moving. Nicolas Dalby versus Tim Means, the Dirty Bird versus the Locomotive. So this matchup here, Tim Means, there's things to like for sure. He's rangy guy, popping shots, doesn't throw a ton of power, but he lands with decent precision. 6 feet 2 inches tall, 75-inch reach. They do share a common opponent recently, and I don't think that matters, but I'm just saying Daniel Rodriguez lost for Tim Means. The last one was a win over Daniel Rodriguez. What that just proves to me, though, is how competitive MMA can be. Styles truly do make fights, but Nicolas Dalby is no easy out. The kickboxing skill set he brings to the table is real. Tim Means, yeah, he beat Mike Perry. I mean, Mike Perry's not all that great. He beat Laureano Starpoli, who's a decent striker. He's beaten Thiago Alves. Like, he's beaten some all right guys. Nicolas Dalby on the other side. Not this world-class, 10 out of 10 fighter, but he's pretty good. The striking is solid. The grappling game is extremely competitive. I don't see Tim Means getting on top. The reach advantage is slight for Tim Means. The height advantage is something, maybe a bit of a factor inside of the clinch. I don't really know if that's where they'll be. I think it's a really competitive fight. I'm leaning split decision Nicolas Dalby here, to be honest with you guys. I do think that as a dog, I like Dalby. Now, I'm not saying Means has no shot to win it. He absolutely does. I'm not saying lock this dog up as the absolute lock. There's no way. But I do think I'm going to pick Nicolas Dalby. Maybe I'm overplaying dogs, but I'm seeing value on the money for Dalby. And stylistically, striking-wise, I do think it's fairly competitive. So I'm going to pick Dalby to win the fight. I'll take him by a decision. Nicolas Dalby at the plus money. He's sitting around plus 140 to Tim Means at minus 165. So I like Dalby here to get the win, and I do think he gets the victory. Let's keep it moving. Andre Fili takes on Daniel Pineda. Interesting matchup. Fili on one side, he's always been good. His kickboxing is solid. I mean, he mixes it up well from kickboxing range. He does have some decent straight shots and kicks. Granted, solid favorite in this fight too. It's interesting. Daniel Pineda is a powerhouse. He has had some issues with drug testing in the past, and in the last fight, he got beat up pretty bad by Cub Swanson. You saw that he lost in the second round by knockout. Prior to that, though, yeah, he beat Herbert Burns, which was a decent win, but granted, Herbert Burns is not all that high level. He does have a great jiu-jitsu game, but it's MMA. Jiu-jitsu and MMA, totally different sports. Andre Fili, I feel like more versatile with his attack. He's also the longer guy, taller by 4 inches, longer by 4 inches with the reach. Is Andre Fili a guy I want to throw a ton of money at? Absolutely not. You look at his last fight, he did lose to Bryce Mitchell in a very competitive fight. That was impressive, even in loss. Charles Jourdain split decision, but he did win the fight for sure. Yusuf he lost to, and then he's got some decent wins on the resume. Andre Fili is a solid, like, journeyman style fighter at this point, kind of as is Pineda. Pineda on the sauce. He's dangerous. I think he'll be off of it here. I don't love a bet on Fili. I feel like Daniel Pineda might be able to land something crazy, but I feel like if the fight goes as I'm seeing in my mind, I think that Fili stops the takedowns. I think Fili works well from kickboxing range, and I think Fili puts it on Daniel Pineda and gets himself a win. If I had to pick a method, I do really lean towards Andre Fili by a decision. So I'm going to pick Andre Fili to win it on a decision here. I think he really should beat Daniel Pineda. I don't think the grappling game is enough of a threat for me to pick Pineda, and I also don't think striking-wise he's going to be able to land those big overhand power shots on Fili. The range advantage is going to be too much, and I do think, I mean, you look at Fili, he trains with high-level guys and has for years, and he's right at the top. I mean, he's not a top 10 type fighter, but he's a solid top 25 guy. That's a really good test for anybody. On the other side, Pineda, 35 years old. I'm going to ride Fili to win the fight here, and I do like him by a decision. Minus 225 to plus 290, or excuse me, plus 190. I've seen success for Pineda as a dog, like in that Herbert Burns fight. But this is a very different matchup. This is against a guy that's been in there with good names. He doesn't have quit in him. I'm going Andre Fili, unanimous decision to win this fight over Daniel Pineda. Before we get up to that featured bout, let's double check on that live chat once again. And let's see what's going on here. Ronaldo is a savage. Jay Herbert's reach is the key. Yeah, I agree, man. You guys got Jay Herbert. A lot of you guys got Jay Herbert. That's good to hear, man. He's a solid dog. Ronaldo's just a monster. Moicano, you think Moicano's going to win? He might win. I don't know. I'm not huge on Moicano, man. I like Herbert. Tim is going to get the W. He definitely could get the W, but I like Dalby. Yeah, Dalby's a good fighter, man. Dog play on that one. Dalby winning by... Hey, he still won the fight even if it was a robbery, right? They still gave him the nod. But he didn't look terrible in that fight, and I don't think he'll look all that awful here. And it's like it was one of those close competitive style robberies, right? At the end of the day, Rodriguez didn't do all that much. Maybe I got to go back and rewatch it a third time. But from what I scored, I mean, yeah, I could see them giving it to Rodriguez, but unfortunately. Pineda is a one-rounder bust. You got Fili. Yeah, Fili, easy pick. Yeah, I agree. I think Fili beats him. Yeah, Fili does take a good shot. Yeah, Burns is just a young fighter. He just makes some mistakes. Barcelos, Shavkat, parlay looking money. I agree with that, what you just said, Bird. Big Bird. I agree, Big Bird. Guys, smash that like button if you haven't yet. As I said, goal 110 likes on this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, covering all things MMA. Let's get back to the predictions. I love chatting it up with you guys during the live chat, and we'll definitely do it more towards the end of this video. We just got 3 more fights to go. It's the featured bout, the co-main, and the main. Let's first talk about this featured bout. Danilo Marques, who I was very doubtful of when he came over to the UFC, versus Kennedy Nzechukwu, who I am very high on coming over to the UFC, and I think hot prospect. But cannot doubt Danilo, 6'6", 77.5-inch reach, 6'5", 83-inch reach. That's for Nzechukwu. These guys are huge. Both of them monstrous inside of this light heavyweight division. Win over Mike Rodriguez and a win over Khadija Bragimov for Danilo Marques. And then Carlos Ulberg knockout win. Darko Stoikic, unanimous decision. Did lose to Paul Craig, but there's no shame in Paul Craig tapping you out. Matchup-wise, Danilo Marques, slight favorite for the strong reason his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu game is extremely difficult to deal with. If he gets a hold of you on the ground, you could be in some serious trouble. The thing is, Kennedy Nzechukwu is an athletic specimen, striking-wise, special striker. He can deal with being attacked on the feet and come back late. Granted, not the most technical. And I do feel like Danilo Marques, with his Jiu-Jitsu game, it's going to be a serious threat because Nzechukwu not being as technical as some of the other strikers, and granted, Nzechukwu is a nice southpaw. I do like the southpaw stance. It's something I enjoy seeing, and I do think it's a very favorable asset. I just, I worry that it hits the ground and Marques wins. As much as I love Kennedy Nzechukwu, I do want Nzechukwu to win. As a fan, I'm on Team Nzechukwu all day long, but I'm very fearful. If he can't get the knockout, and if he does put himself out of position, I see Danilo Marques finding a way to get the fight to the ground. I see Danilo Marques finding a way to get the submission. As much as I hate picking against Kennedy Nzechukwu, I'm having this feeling. All right, so what I'm going to say about this fight, I want to see them face off at the weigh-ins. I want to see the shape both guys are in, because I really do think it's a very competitive matchup, and it's whose game plan works better, striker versus grappler. I just don't think Nzechukwu's grappling defense is going to be high enough level to defend against Danilo Marques. So for me, I am going to pick Danilo. Unfortunately, I'm going to pick Danilo by a submission in the second round. I think he locks up a rear naked choke potentially, and he taps out Kennedy Nzechukwu. I hope I'm wrong. wrong. I do. I really do, because I like Kennedy Nzechukwu. I like these fun light heavyweights with athletic potential. But I just can't pick against Danilo with this stylistic matchup. So I'm going to ride Danilo Marques, submission win, round number 2. He's a fun guy to watch in the weight class, but I do think Kennedy Nzechukwu has more long stay potential. He's only 29. I do think there's a chance Nchekwu's ground game is completely sealed up. The hole is gone, and then he's going to end up getting a knockout of Marques. So 50-50 fight, but I'll pick Danilo, the very slight favorite, and let's see what the odds have it at. Yeah, now Nchekwu's actually becoming more of a favorite. I think they got to be careful betting down Nzechukwu because stylistically speaking, when you got a guy with very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's going to be tricky. So I'll ride with Danilo Marques to tap out Kennedy Nzechukwu here in the second round. Let's go to the next fight of the night between these two on this card. But between these two, you got to pick Danilo Marques here. Next one, Ovin St. Preux versus Tanner Boser. So I'll tell you right off the bat, I haven't been liking how OSP's been looking. I think he's a I don't want to say shot, but I think he's declining. He's a declining mixed martial artist. He's 38. I've been watching OSP since his record was 8-4, and now he's 25-15. So I've seen a lot of Ovin St. Preux over the years. Tricky southpaw style, sure. Awkward as hell, absolutely. But at heavyweight, how does he fare against a guy on the other side in Tanner Boser, whose striking is very smooth and fast? I picked against Boser, and I happen to be correct with that Ilir Latifi fight, but that's a whole different stylistic matchup. Ovin St. Preux is a striker, as is Tanner Boser. Boser, probably one of the faster guys in the heavyweight division, so the speed advantage that St. Preux would have against a lot of these other heavyweight strikers isn't really going to be there. I'm going to ride with Tanner Boser to win this fight. I do think he can get a second-round knockout over Ovin St. Preux and really move his career forward. I see him beating him here. Boser's literally lost to Arlovsky, who's an amazing striker, very tricky fight, and also taller and longer. Granted, so is OSP, but Arlovsky's way more technical. And then he lost to Latifi on a very close split decision 2 weeks ago. He comes to bounce back here after not taking much damage against OSP, who's coming off of a knockout loss to Hill. He did beat Alonzo Menfield, but Menfield's like 5'9", whereas, Tanner Boser's 6'2". Granted, I think Menfield's actually like 5'11", but still, he's a lot shorter and a lot shorter reach. He lost to Ben Rothwell by a split, but that's a very different stylistic matchup. I feel like Tanner Boser should find a way to win this fight. The grappling defense isn't bad at all. Striking-wise, he does have speed in the hands. I'm going to pick Tanner Boser by a second-round knockout over the older OSP, who has to be at heavyweight now. And I hope OSP comes out and has a great performance, win, lose, or draw. But I'm very worried the decline has been substantial. So I'll ride Tanner Boser, and it does make sense he'd be a favorite. -150 to +125. I'm going for the more natural heavyweight and the quick heavyweight in Tanner Boser. But let's keep it moving. Let's get up to that main event of the evening. Ciryl Gane versus Alexander Volkov. This fight gets me shaking in my boots, guys, because on one side you have this athletic specimen, but also extremely patient and technical kickboxer in Ciryl Gane, who's effective from range at extremely high levels. Volkov, other side, extremely effective from range, dangerous knee up the center, awesome straight punches, beautiful kicks to the body. This is true heavyweight perfection. Both of these guys, in my opinion, are the best matchups to take on like a Francis Ngannou because they're both good strikers. Granted, the one that I pick, I think, has a much better shot against Ngannou. Who are you guys picking? I'm curious, honestly, so let me know in the comments in the live chat if you agree with me. But I'm going to go Ciryl Gane. I'm not worried about the odds. He shouldn't be the favorite because he really doesn't have the experience. But I've been on the Ciryl Gane hype train for a while now. I'm not going to back off of it now and tell you dog or pass it. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick to Ciryl Gane. I think stylistically speaking, it's a very difficult matchup. But the power of Ciryl Gane is very good. I do think Alexander Volkov has some advantages in the clinch, but I think Ciryl Gane's physical strength will push Volkov away. I do think you could see Ciryl Gane stun him with strikes. Evident speed advantage with overall footwork, gotta go towards Gane. Combination punching, gotta go towards Volkov. This is a dream-like heavyweight fight for me. One of the best striking heavyweight matchups ever, period. I think this is going to be a really fun fight. I hope that it turns out to be, and it doesn't turn out to be a snooze fest. I really don't think it will be. Ciryl Gane, technical perfection, as does Volkov. I think we're looking at a good striking match. I think there's a chance Volkov could definitely win this fight. Absolutely. And I'm picking Gane, but I think Volkov does have a legit chance to win it. Winner of this fight probably is real close to that Francis Ngannou fight. I think both of them sell excellent matchups, but I'm going to ride with Boom Gane and Ciryl Gane. I think that he has the sauce. I think he's a special fighter. Definitely could go the other way in terms of the matchup. He could get caught. He could get hurt. It's heavyweight MMA. But I think Ciryl Gane is a very special fighter. And I do think he wins this fight against Alexander Volkov. So I will ride with Ciryl Gane. And I will check up on that live chat. Actually, first, before we do it, we just have a new fight announcement that I have to go over. But yeah, Ciryl Gane here, betting-wise. If you want to throw down on him, you could. Maybe a bit of risk. -175 to +145. We'll talk about the best bets as the week goes on because I need to see some props released. But just announced, there is another fight on this card that is not being listed here, but it is between, oh, they just put it up. Here we go. Warlley Alves versus Jeremiah Wells. We got it just in time. This matchup right here, Jeremiah Wells, this dynamic and explosive striker, and the guy's 34. He's no young fighter at this point, but he's getting his first opportunity in the UFC. A bit wild as well, but does have a decent skill set. And now on the other side, he takes on Warlley Alves, who's a knockout artist for sure with the power. I mean, he's Muay Thai skill set, Thai-style Muay Thai, has definitely improved tenfold. He beat Munir Lazez pretty badly in that last one. Dangerous Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. For me, I give a lot of respect to Jeremiah Wells getting this fight, stepping up, taking on Warlley Alves. He was originally, I believe, supposed to fight Miguel Baeza in 2020. I'm not going to pick against Warlley Alves here. I'm going to pick Alves, and I do think he finds a way to win it. You look at Jeremiah Wells, he does have a loss to Vincius de Jesus, and then Warlley Alves' recent loss to Randy Brown. I think it's not an easy fight for either. Wells does come out really hard, and Alves, I think, will be prepared for that. I don't know if he gets that stoppage over Wells, but I do think he could get a submission. I don't know about a knockout stoppage, but a submission. I'm going to lean you towards Warlley Alves by submission in the second round. That's going to be my prediction for this matchup. I don't think we have the odds just yet. Let me quickly check up on that. Yeah, I don't think the odds are out. Not just yet. But I think that obviously Alves will be a favorite here. And if you are thinking of dogging it up, you prop bet Jeremiah Wells by knockout. And we'll talk about it. We got the best bets video coming up very soon. Let me check up on that live chat. And honestly, I'm so pumped for this card, guys. I think you guys are probably pretty excited as well. Let's see what's going on in this live chat here. All right. Let's see. So let me catch up to where I was at. All right. You like Rakhmonov, Shavkat, Barcelos, Fili, Parlay. That's a solid one. Hey, man, I think Kennedy's... I just worry he's going to get taken down, man. Tanner Bozier. You like Tanner Bozier? Yeah. Yo, shout out Justin Wetzel in the live chat. What's up, my guy? Good to see you here, man. Hot prospect on the rise. Sign him to the UFC. Selman Bundy. Shout out to you, my guy. Tanner Bozier, the lock. Yeah, I think he should win the fight. Striker versus striker, and I'm going Tanner KO as well. But Tanner just trained for the last fight, though. It's not like Tanner hasn't been fighting. He just fought 2 weeks ago. Volkov, unanimous decision. I like that pick. Wetzel. I think it's possible, even though I'm on the other side. Shavkat, Bozier, Fili, guaranteed. You think Shavkat, Bozier, and Fili? Could be. You like Volkov with the tattoo. He's invincible. He's definitely better with those tattoos now. Volkov decision. Okay. I think Gane beats Drago. You think it goes the distance? It definitely could. Over 1.5. Yeah, definitely that's a solid one. I don't know, man. I think Gane is going to surprise a lot of people. He does have power. He's just very effective and patient. Justin Wetzel, official pick. Alves. I like that pick, man. I totally agree. I think he's going to beat up Jeremiah. Right, exactly. He looked fantastic against Lazez in the last one. The Yancy fight, yeah, we're going Yancy Medeiros. Who's the better striker, Gane or Volkov? Both are fantastic. It's elite level. It's truly elite level mixed martial arts, and that's why I love the fight. Overall, my rating for this card that I would give, I'm calling this an A-. Like, for free TV, this is as good as it gets, really. So I'm liking it. I wish maybe there was one better featured bout, like if the co-main event was a little better, but I'm loving the action throughout this card. There's a lot of names that I'm big fans of. I've seen everybody on the card fight numerous times, so I'm pretty pumped. Honestly, excellent card. Super fun matchups. I do want to talk a bit about the parlays before I get out of here, and we'll talk about some of the potential plays that we can make. A lot of you in the live chat are really liking this one, so we'll definitely play this up. And actually, I'm going to get the live chat on my phone here as well so we can chat it up moment by moment so I don't have to keep switching screens here. But I do think that the parlays to play on this card definitely do exist, and I think there's definitely some awesome ones. The one that I'm liking, definitely going to go Shavkat Rakhmonov on the parlay, Raoni Barcelos on the parlay for pretty much even money, -104. I think that's really valuable, and I think that if you're not looking for like extreme risk, that should be a potential play there. Yeah, Young was such a disappointment last week in PFL, man. I was pretty pissed. Combo parlay, MLB, Bellator, and UFC. Hey man, I'll help you with parlay in Bellator, PFL, and UFC, but I know nothing about Major League Baseball, so I'm not claiming to be the MLB experts over here, man. Just stick to the cage fighting. All right, so we got Shavkat Rakhmonov, Raoni Barcelos, and if I want to add in somebody else, I think Tanner Bozier. So now plus 227 money. I think that's decently valuable, honestly, right there. I think that's a safer play, a play that should really cash. And now if you're like, oh, I want to bring somebody else in, I have to bring in more fighters. You're going to get into riskier territory, sure, but I do think right there, plus 372, that's a solid play. Shavkat Rakhmonov, Raoni Barcelos, Tanner Bozier, and Andre Fili. If I'm feeling like betting the main fight, I will probably wait towards later on in the week because that's where you're going to see the odds come closer because I think a lot of money's going to drop on Volkov in the next 2 days. But just for fun, we'll play it now. It'd be plus 641. That's a 50-50 fight, and if I do parlay that up, it's going to be on a riskier parlay where I just like to put sometimes my main event fighters on the parlay. Oh, honestly, if we wanted to add Charles Rosa in there, granted, he could get knocked out. He really shouldn't get knocked out. Plus 641. So Shavkat Rakhmonov, Raoni Barcelos, Tanner Bozier, Andre Fili, and Charles Rosa for plus 641. Risky five fight favorite parlay. Is there a possibility to cash, though? Absolutely. I do. I believe it. But Charles Rosa, out of all of them, biggest risk, I would say, for sure. If you want to bring in a dog, potentially, who could be someone that has true value as an underdog, I like Dalby, but I'm not going to bring him in as the dog just yet. I do feel like if I have to throw a dog in there, I guess Danilo Marques is the one at this point. Bozier -150 straight is not bad at all. Definitely some solid plays. This is the first time really previewing up the parlays. I'm excited for the best bets video this week. I'm going to dive deep with the bets. I'll be back home, so I'm pretty pumped to be in studio. I know you guys probably missing that fire background. The live streams are back this week. Best bets video coming in the next day or so. Bellator predictions, PFL predictions. I got all the action coming here at MMA Experts, so I appreciate everybody for tuning in to the live stream here. I love chatting it up with you guys. I'm not leaving just yet, so if you do want to throw some parlays you want me to give my opinion on, throw it right in there in the live chat. I am going to look at some of the bets that I like potentially. If you do Jay Herbert dog play with Andre Fili, plus 333. Let me see, a dog play with Jay Herbert and Shavkat Rakhmonov, plus 320, and you add in Barcelos, plus 488. If Jay Herbert really comes through for us, that reach advantage should be money. I still don't trust Villanueva. Absolutely not. I don't trust Villanueva. I'm not playing with like, who wins, Jaynes or Rosa? I'm going with Rosa, but man, you know, I just worry if Jaynes caught him. Neither is all that great, so it's a tricky fight, but I'll definitely ride with Rosa. I hope the parlay comes through, man. I hope all the parlays win. But some solid plays, some money to be made. We'll go deep with the betting breakdown in the next couple of days when all these props come out. You guys know I like to take it deep with those. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, whether on live or on replay. You know what you guys got to do. Smash that like button. As I said, goal on this video, I need 110 likes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe here too. And I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you guys so much. Top 3 underdogs. I guess it's got to be Herbert number 1. We'll go Medeiros number 2 and number 3 Dalby. But it's subject to change. We'll talk about that in the best bets video. Raoni Barcelos and Shavkat. That's my play personally. Herbert, Volkov are your favorite dogs. Dude, Volkov's an excellent dog. Even though I'm picking on the other side, he's an amazing dog. I was actually really surprised to see the widespread play there. That's why I'm not touching the Gane line unless I see Cyril Gane at -135 or less. If he's at -150, I'm not playing. If it's at minus 140, like I might end up. But as of right now, waiting for that. But smash that like button, guys. We need 110 likes. New to the channel, subscribe. I got to get out of here. Thank you all so much. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, we'll be back in studio. So super excited for that. We'll be going over Bellator and PFL. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And I will see you all in the next video.